Good morning, everyone. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the YML Main Event, the annual meeting organized by the Young Manufacturing Leaders Network. As you may know, the network has been launched in 2020 with the support of EIT Manufacturing, and it's now formed of almost 370 members for more than 25 countries. Some of them are here today. At the central international level, the network is run by 9 partners from all over Europe, including Politecnico di Milano as lead partner and the World Manufacturing Foundation, which yearly organized the World Manufacturing Forum and Week. The YML event is indeed one of these events, including in the calendar of the week. To open up, I thank you again, everybody, for being here present in person and connected online. I will now leave the floor to Professor Marco Ortais, Professor of Digital and Sustainable Manufacturing at Politecnico di Milano and Scientific Chairman of the World Manufacturing Forum that will introduce actually the YML network. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chernobyl. Normally we have sunshine outside, but this it's something different this year. I'm sorry for that. What is Young Manufacturing Leaders? Why we are here, and what is the purpose that we have in place with this initiative? Can I have the control of the slides, please? Okay. Yes, exactly. Okay, so thank you very much. What is the Young Manufacturing Leaders Network and why we are here? What is the background idea that we have behind this? Manufacturing is, as you have seen yesterday, heard from the other speaker, is definitely one of the most important sectors all over the world. More than 90% of the R&D expenditure in the world are because manufacturing companies are investing in research, in innovation. And the purpose that we have is that what you see is that gap skills is also a fundamental problem. Companies are not able to find human resources. They are able to find product, they are able to invest in technologies, but they are not able to find enough people or well-trained people in order to support their growth. And if we don't have people, the companies will not be efficient. Company will not be able to produce new product, new services, and therefore we are not able to work in the right direction, which is the digital transformation from one side and is also the ecological transformation from the other side. So we need to start from the beginning. We need to support the growth of let me say, students, people, by creating importance and awareness. That's the first important topic that we have here, awareness on the importance of manufacturing. So we are not here just to attract, let me say, students to work in the company as a manufacturing technicians and expert, but also we are here, and I think this is also very important, to spread the word of the importance of manufacturing for the overall economy. And that's why spreading awareness is, I think it's the most important part. We decided to launch this initiative. We are very happy at the success of it, and because the number of people are growing daily, and this is something which is very important for us. Here you see the starting partners who launched this initiative. You see, it started mainly from university side, but this should not be misleading because now companies are joining our network, are getting more and more interested in what we are doing. The World Manufacturing Foundation, from one side, has a lot of connection with a lot of companies all over the world. The EIT Manufacturing, which is financially supporting this initiative, by definition, has a lot of companies, as will be clear in a while. How we plan to establish the network? A network is done by the nodes of the network, by hubs. We started with a few hubs, and concentrated or located in Europe because this is where we are from. And we are very happy that this has been growing quite extensively in different countries of Europe. But as I said in my introduction, manufacturing is a global sector. Manufacturing is something that every country in the world should work with or should take into consideration. In the World Manufacturing Foundation, we have the United Nations Industrial Development Organization as a partner, because, as I said, we need to run projects all over the world in order to spread the word of manufacturing. So let's start from Europe, but we should go beyond the borders of Europe. Yeah, and here you see what are our plan, what are our successes so far. The Young Manufacturing Network now is growing, as you can see, with a very interesting numbers in terms of members that are part of the network so far. And my invitation to those of you who are here and those of you who are connected is to, let me say, spread the word and invite other members to this. The benefit from the members is, of course, to have discussion on the most important topic in manufacturing, and manufacturing and services, manufacturing sustainability, manufacturing digital technology. But also, I think that what is important for you is that by creating connection, this is something that will take you to your professional career, and therefore this is very important. Here you see the number of also the countries that are at the moment involved so far. We are not just addressing students, as you can see, but we are addressing also professionals, young professionals, of course, young manufacturing leaders. But we are very open with what we call with the definition of young people. Okay, so there is not an age, and you don't go in retirement from the young manufacturing leaders when you are 30. Okay, just to give you, to make you sure that you will be part of the network anyhow in your future life. The only number I don't like in this slide is the gender balance, which is not balanced. You see there. This is reflecting, of course, the current situation of interest in the manufacturing sector. But we, as the World Manufacturing Foundation, launched an initiative last year, which is called Women in Manufacturing, because we are sure that there are great opportunities for women in the manufacturing industry. Manufacturing used to be something for men because the most important skill, let me say, which was which was needed till some years ago or decades ago, was the muscles, right? Manufacturing means moving objects, uploading machines, downloading machines, and that's what you need, muscles. Now, with the fourth industrial revolution, by putting at the center data, but putting at the center the importance of information. This means that what is now needed is the brain. Is not anymore the force of your human body, is the brain. And this, I think, it's creating a great opportunities and a great for women. So please work in this direction. What we are doing with manufacturing, what is at the core of the manufacturing network in terms of topic is not just manufacturing from the technological point of view. That's very important. Sustainability is definitely, or circularity is definitely one of the most important challenges that we have in front of us. Digitalization is also important. The topic of this year of the World Manufacturing Forum is exactly the digitally enabled circularity in manufacturing. So how the two trends, sustainability from one side and digitalization from the other side, are merging together. But since we are talking about young people, entrepreneurship, innovation is also fundamental, as well as also all the other dimensions, as you see there, equality, diversity, inclusion, and so on and so forth. Yeah, there are. The network works with a lot of with hubs, and hubs are working at local level. Okay, so we are not aiming, let me say, to control everything from the center. You can create, the hubs can create their own initiatives, can adjust, customize the initiatives according to what are the needs of the city, of the region, of the country in which the hub is located. So it's up to you, it's up to your, let me say, creativity to find the proper activities, to customize the proper activities, and we encourage you to find your own way and your own path. We are here to listen to your suggestions. We are here to take any suggestion and spread maybe this suggestion in other hubs if it's a best practice. So it's only up to us, right? The success of this network is only up to the member of the network, and for this perspective, I think we need to work all together in this direction. We did a lot of stuff until now. Here you see a summary of what we have done. The young manufacturing leaders, I'm very happy. They have actively contributed to the edition of the More Manufacturing report this year. With a lot of cases and a lot of inputs, and I think this is interesting because you have provided to the network. Last year, the network was downloaded by more than 10,000 people all over the world, right? So this gives a lot of visibility to the work you are doing, as a network and also as a person and as an individual. The Today program, I think it's up to you. Right, so I will return now the podium to you, and thank you very much for being here, for attending. Next year, I promise we will have a better weather for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Teisch, for this welcome speech. Yes, the program we will discover little by little. Now it's time to leave the floor to Paola Fantini, Director of Education at EIT Manufacturing. Please come on stage, and thank you.
Thank you. So, that seems that it doesn't work. Okay. Okay. Good morning. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to have listened to the success already and the spread of this network of young manufacturing leaders. Very proud. As Marco Teisch mentioned, EIT Manufacturing is supporting with the money, but also with the heart and our passion, this initiative. So I would like, first of all, maybe to spend some time to explain what is EIT Manufacturing. And starting from back in the first years of the 2000s years, when in Europe there was some reflection about why is Europe behind in terms of innovation compared with the US. And the answer was, well, in US they have institutions like MIT, for example, that play the role of engines of innovation. So we should have something like that in Europe as well. So a body of the European Union, the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, was created in 2008 with the idea of creating a public-private partnership that could really be the engine also in Europe for innovation. In those years, well, since 2008, 8 innovation communities were created. You see those, each of them address one specific topic. The first one were about digitalization, so EIT Digital, EIT Innoenergy for renewable energy, and climate change, so addressing real important societal challenges. Then food, raw materials, and health came. And finally, in 2019, the EIT Manufacturing was set up. So we started our first year of operation in 2020. I mentioned a partnership. In fact, we are a partnership of currently like 60-something members. Half of them almost comes from industry, from the manufacturing industry, or important technology providers connected to manufacturing, and the rest are composed of academia and research centers. What is the organizational form that we have? We have been set up as an association based in Paris. So this is the headquarters of EIT Manufacturing, but we have affiliates that we call co-location centers that are covering different regions in Europe. So as you have the hubs, the young manufacturing leaders have the hubs, we also have hubs in different parts of Europe, plus other hubs for the risk countries. How do we work? Our mission is, of course, to create to have this renaissance, let's say, of manufacturing innovation in Europe. And we work with the model of the knowledge triangle integration. So we support programs in innovation, in education, and in business creation. But let's say the secret formula that is not only of EIT Manufacturing, but all the KICs share, is the integration of these three aspects. Meaning that, for example, our education programs are closely related to innovation. Our students work on innovation projects, on innovation challenges, and some of them are, well, all of them are quite stimulated to set up a business idea that might become a startup or might become an innovation in the company they work for. So what are our goals in education? Now I'm representing education. I'm the director of education. As you can see, we have this social, we need to address this issue that we have not only in Europe, but for sure in Europe, of upskilling. Marco Tasci also mentioned the skill shortage, the issue that manufacturers have to address in order to fill the jobs position with the right people and the right skills. So there is a huge work to be done in order to help people that are already in the workforce to develop skills that are requested for Industry 4.0, for the new business model, for the green transition, and so on. So this is very much at the core of our mission. And again, women, also for us, we are fully aware that gender balance is a challenge in manufacturing, and we develop programs in order that specifically address women, especially in the young age, like high school or even earlier, to empower them, to make them understand or be aware that manufacturing can be an attractive place also for them, a challenging place, a smart place to work. And then we have a target of educating, meaning through master and PhD, 2,000 students. I would like to spend some more words about our that we call EIT-labeled master and PhD. So masters are built on top of engineering programs that already exist, and same for PhD. For master programs, our programs are double degrees with our members' universities. These are programs that we have created together with our members' university. So the students can spend 1 year in one university and the second year in the second university, and to get a double degree. But this is only the basis. On top of that, they have the opportunity to attend summer schools, extracurricular activity, to get into contact and to work together with their companies, to create their own international network, to develop their strategy for their professional growth. So innovation, entrepreneurship are the core, let's say, topic that they are trained to, but also through these experiences, as I said, internship, industrial thesis, etc., and working in teams, international teams, they develop a lot of transversal skills, problem solving, of course, but also value judgment, because I would like to highlight that at the very root of all our programs, there are the European values and the SDGs. So the students are also challenged to find a solution that improve the well-being of European citizens or society at large, and create solutions for the environmental problems and so on. Achievements. So far, we have also already created several networks, pan-European, of teaching and learning factories. These are methods of teaching and learning that are quite unique of EIT Manufacturing, meaning of the members of EIT Manufacturing, in which students, but also long life learners, can be trained on physical equipment like didactic factories that are at our members' universities, or can be remotely connected with real factory environment, with the people on the shop floor describing problems and issues and challenges that they can solve together with their professors in the classrooms. So we are very proud of these results. There is only one row for mentioning young manufacturing leaders, but of course, as I said, we are very, very proud of this initiative that has been illustrated by Marco. And then we have one of the achievements is our digital platform, Skills Move. It's not it's not an easy task to create a digital learning platform from scratch. So it's still with the basic functionality, but we have a very big vision for this digital platform as basic or as a core asset for all our education programs. That can be filled in by our members, but also from other experts in manufacturing with quality with content that will be checked from a quality perspective and will be made available for the European and the world, let's say, manufacturing community. This will integrate also experience and hands-on experiences with the teaching and learning factory, simulation, etc., etc. Finally, I want to mention once again our EIT-labeled master and PhD courses to help young citizens to become really change makers in the field of manufacturing, innovators, startups. Have a look. This maybe is not depending on your age, and maybe it's not interesting for you to enroll. Maybe it could be interesting for one of your the people that you know. Or if you are already working in a company, it could be interesting for you to propose a thesis or challenges, or to propose internship for the students to work in your innovation project. And this will give you, I think, a plus. So thank you very much, and very best wishes for this day of work of the young manufacturing leaders. I would like to thank also everybody, and particular Marta and Carolina, who supported this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paola. As Marco told before, and you already mentioned, young entrepreneurship as well as digital and sustainable innovation are key topic today and for the YML and manufacturing. So now it's the moment to welcome virtually on stage Giorgia Munari, President of Gruppo Giovani Imprenditori dell'Unione degli Industriali della Provincia di Varese, for our keynote speech. So I already see Giorgia. I leave you the floor. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It's my pleasure to be connected with you today. So being a host within the Young Manufacturing Leader event, I am very happy to talk with you about young entrepreneurs. I had the chance of being group leader of the white paper focusing about young entrepreneurs in the new era of sustainability and digitalization. Why this is so important? Because young entrepreneurs actually can represent a strong and very important resource of resilience for manufacturing, which on the other hand can favor the recovery of manufacturing, but also totally reshape its convention and its structures. So how did we proceed to develop this paper? I could interview 18 different experts coming from multiple countries and different fields and industry with the aim of accessing two key questions. One is, how can young entrepreneurs thrive and having success in manufacturing by using their innate characteristics such as willingness to change, openness to disruption, curiosity, and their innate skills towards sustainability and digitalization. And on the other hand, how they can evolve to transform this characteristic into an institutionalized organizational culture capable of positively impacting the long-term resilience of manufacturing. So if we can move to next slide, please. The first steps we did has been to analyze the context where we are today. So first of all, what we would like to highlight is that we find ourselves in the modern, even fragmented scenario. So from one side, we have fluid forms of employment with remote employment, and on the other hand, we have broad job displacement. From one side, we have free flow of goods, but on the other side, we also have relevant economic inequalities. We have extension of industrial value chain, but on the other hand, we also have a global crisis of value chain. So we really are in a fragmented and difficult scenarios nowadays. With new and disruptive technologies arising, so we have been talking about software, big data, artificial intelligence, artificial neural networks, additive manufacturing, and so on. So we really are facing and will be facing new upcoming technologies that can reshape our manufacturing world. Sustainability is a key success factor, so we cannot talk about manufacturing anymore without having a clear in mind that sustainability will be a driver and a key pillars in the future. On the other hand, as countries and but also as young entrepreneurs, we can see strong and unprecedented fiscal policies and fiscal stimulus. Let's think about the American Rescue Plan or the Next Generation EU. So as young entrepreneurs, we also enjoy the possibility to have a large amount of funds available to sustain new initiatives within manufacturing driven by young entrepreneurs. And all these, of course, will bring us in the concept of digitalization and sustainability being the two key pillars moving and driving all future innovation of manufacturing. This is also the key topics of the World Manufacturing Forum of this year. And in all this context, of course, young entrepreneurs can move into two different types of realities, because we know that from one side, young entrepreneurs can even create their own ventures, so creating a new startup that need to scale up and growth and be market profitable and sustainable for the long-term future of the startup. Or on the other side, young entrepreneurs can inherit existing company from previous generations. So in this sense, it's fundamental that the generational change will be done with trust and positively in order to guarantee success of the young entrepreneurs in existing company. So if we can now move to the next slide, please. We actually came out with a set of recommendations, which I'm very happy to share with you today. This recommendation want to highlight all what we can do in order to favor a positive impact of young entrepreneurs for the future resilience of manufacturing. We divided in three macro categories. First of all is an enterprise level. Is the importance of interdisciplinarity between hard and soft skill. This is a key success factor. So we know the educational world has always been focused in delivering us with technical skills, of course, how to do things, how to create a product, how to build a machine, how to work. But young entrepreneurs, of course, will face with new rising type of technical skills, which we still don't know yet, of course, due to the whole new type of technology that are hitting the market and will hit the market. And on the other hand, they will find themselves to lead very heterogeneous team of people with transversal knowledge on different subjects. So the importance of being a good leader and developing soft skill on top of technical skills is fundamental. So really the importance of being a good leader with soft skill to manage people from different fields, maybe coming from different parts of the world and also working remotely simultaneously. So this will be crucial. Second important recommendation is the importance of having a clear market strategy to market their product and their business, because we know young entrepreneurs can be very good in conceiving product innovation, new service or new manufacturing process, but on the other hand, they may lack the capabilities to properly market it in a sustainable and profitable way. So it's very important to tailor the activity with a clear mission, vision, and also with the ability to storytelling it, because more and more we are looking for product and service and ideas, also business ideas that tell us a story. Let's think about the concept of servitization of manufacturing. For example, in this concept, the ability of telling the story of our idea, our innovation, what our manufacturing can offer is fundamental. Third very important recommendation is the relevance of conceiving sustainability and technology as strongly bonded together. We have understood that sustainability and technology are the two pillars driving the future of manufacturing, but they should not be conceived as separate fields of action. On the other hand, they should be really working and bonded together. So sustainability will drive to new form of innovation, aiming, for example, at reducing manufacturing costs, being more efficient, circular economy, finding and developing new type of raw material, recycling, regenerating, predictive manufacturing, and so on. On the other side, new upcoming type of innovation in digital disruptiveness can foster the creation of a new and more sustainable practice in manufacturing. On the more ecosystem point of view, we found out that it's very important to foster positive contamination between startups and more established company. Of course, these two types of ventures have strength and weakness, but if we can put in contact as much as possible young entrepreneurs from startup together with young entrepreneurs of established company, we can really merge and strengthen the positive effects of both type of company in a win-win situation. What we envision is the possibility of more established company to work as sort of incubators for startups. So they can go outside looking for existing technology, existing capabilities, without necessarily having to invest in the creation of an internal business unit with skills, which of course requires a lot of resources. On the other hand, startups can benefit from the resources and the market penetration and the managerial capabilities of more established companies, working as a sort of innovation platform, innovation center for them. In order to do this, of course, we have to empower new channels of communication and occasion of networking for young entrepreneurs to favor common action of collaboration. We know that young entrepreneurs are and will always be, by age, digitally native, so we assume it will be easy for them, and they are open-minded to share their knowledge, their skills, their capabilities, what they are looking for, what they need on some form of new digital platforms. And this can foster the concept, the perception of the manufacturer as a service, so servitization of manufacturing once again, and on the other hand can really empower the possibility to get connected by young entrepreneurs. For doing this, and I'm moving to the final part of my speech, is fundamental to involve entrepreneurial organization to facilitate the solidity of young enterprises. We don't have to forget that it's very important to have intermediate organization that can actually work to lobby the interest of young entrepreneurs ahead of public policy, and in order to guarantee all the possible fiscal stimulus are guaranteed to the young entrepreneurs, the bureaucratization, and so on. And also to bridge the dialogue with international and national public policy actors to reduce excessive interventionism, which we may expect after all the international funds that governments are making available to our industries. And with this, I have basically concluded my intervention. So I don't know if you have any question, but we really believe that this set of recommendation can impact positively and should take it in consideration by all the entities in order to guarantee a positive impact from young entrepreneurs, guaranteeing long-term resilience of manufacturing.
Thank you so much for your speech and introduction, and actually a lot of topics that now we will take. Thank you. Now, in fact, is the moment to move to our first roundtable that actually will be focused on innovation. So I please welcome on stage Alessio Fino, bachelor degree student of Politecnico di Torino, Felix Perk, master degree student, Technical University of Braunschweig, Andrew Dickinson, principal investigator and research engineering, University College of Dublin, and Jacopo Farina, strategic partnership, Vodafone business expert, Vodafone Business Italy. Thank you so much for joining. So I was just saying before, innovation is crucial and is the theme of this first roundtable. So I would now ask you to all some questions, so then we go in a row and you feel free to answer. What is innovation and entrepreneurship for you? Can you tell if you have any experience with an innovative project or the launch of a new business, for instance? Georgia just quoted startups or ideas. What inspired you to start or to solve a problem? And what do you think are the main challenges you have to face? I know there are a lot of questions, but feel free to answer to the one. Maybe we can start with you.
Okay, sure. Let's define first that an innovator is not just a random inventor. An innovator is a person which can actually see what the market is lacking, what the world needs, and can have that intuition of an idea he would then want to develop. So it is not just a random inventor who gets an assignment and gets, okay, you gotta design a new gearbox. No, it's a person who sees that the market needs that, and he actually works with a customer-based approach to fill that gap. I would like to bring up one example. It is very. It is not strictly related to the world of manufacturing. It is about George Mallory. George Mallory was one of the first men who tried to climb Mount Everest. And he did it in the beginning of the 20th century. And everyone thought he was crazy. And when they asked, why do we want to do that? He said, because it's there. And the innovator is exactly that. He's the one who says that the idea is there, and he wants to really get into it, get after it.
So thank you, Alessio. You can see Felix. Yes, just this first question to break
I would
the
like
ice and
to focus on what innovation means to me. So innovation to me means to come up with something completely new that hasn't been there before, or to rethink a process or a product that is already existing, but in a completely different way. And also not to just do it for yourself, to share this innovation with everyone, so to bring it in the market, so that everyone can benefit from your ideas.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Please.
I actually agree with what Felix said there. It's about the benefit. I think at the end of the day, you can be creative, but that doesn't mean that you're innovative. So we've all seen Dragon's Den, we've seen Shark Tank, we've seen lots of very strange ideas that are very, very creative, but perhaps not as useful as they should be. But if you see, particularly with entrepreneurship, if you want to bring that product to a particular group, even if it's not for profit, if it's a charity or a foundation, it's that ability to bring it from innovation to the people that need it, that is where I see the idea of entrepreneurship.
Please, Jacopo.
From my perspective, when we talk about innovation, we should talk also about open innovation. So different ideas combined together to create real values for the whole society. I think that open innovation comes when different backgrounds are combined together and different competencies could be defined as complementary. When we talk about entrepreneurship, we should also talk about entrepreneurship, as Georgia said before in her speech. I think that as young manufacturing leaders, we should be a promoter of this kind of approach also in the corporate sector. From my experience as a strategic partnership expert at Vodafone Business, when we came into the launch of a new idea of product to help small, medium enterprises, but also low-end corporate enterprises to embrace the fourth industrial revolution, we faced a problem, we faced a challenge. We did not have all the competencies at the table to create the product from the end-to-end solution perspective. So we came together, and this was my role, to find the best partner to partner with to develop this type of product. And finally, we set together this innovative brainstorming session. We define together, design together, and co-innovate together. We deliver a high value. And as a young manufacturing leaders, my suggestion to the other young manufacturing leaders that are listening to us is that we should not be scary to take into the table our own perspective. Different generations could have different perspectives, could have different type of backgrounds, experiences, and this combination is fundamental to innovate and also to consider the whole society. Because when we are innovating, we are taking some risks, but at the same time, we can generate value for the society as a whole.
Thank you, Jacopo. You just mentioned the role of actually being together in building ideas. So now I would move to you and Alessio, asking what is the role actually of networking for the stimulus to new ideas and projects, the thing that you already mentioned, maybe you can go a little further, and how the YML experience helped you in enlarging your network of contacts. So if you want to start, Alessio.
Okay, so first, as I mentioned, the innovator is the one who first has the idea, who first has the drive to intervene in a project, but he cannot act alone. Cooperation is fundamental in carrying on a project. Cooperation is fundamental of achieving disruptive transformation. Networking can first help by by getting in contact with new perspective, new ideas, new ways of solving problems, because the diverse. It is important that the people who network with have a diverse approach to problems, difficulties, and any kind of unprecedented event that can happen and will happen in a business context. Also, it can be good for achieving opportunities, find a better spot, a better project to work on, maybe that you're more passionate about. And I think that's really important, and the only way that can be achieved is by meeting more people, meeting more experts, getting more expertise by talking with the people who are actually involved in the manufacturing world in this case. And YML Network was very helpful with that, because I got an insight on very different realities, very different manufacturing processes and approaches to the world of manufacturing, different ways to approach the development, to solve bottlenecks in the production line I thought everyone was solving it in a different way. So really, the best networking is a great occasion to mount up knowledge.
Thank you, Alessio. Jacopo, if you want to add something to...
Yeah, as said before, I think that networking is fundamental to embrace this cross-fertilization that is contaminating every industry around the world today. We have to think that after COVID-19, the competition is even higher. We are running faster the business. We are changing so frequently the technologies. And without the networking, the fact that you can partner with someone, you cannot get the whole benefit of this innovation path that is perversing all around the world. I think that networking is also fundamental on your personal level, not only as a corporate level, because you can get new competencies, new backgrounds, new perspectives, and in this way you can challenge your own idea and try to understand if it's really important for the society as a whole. I think that YML Network is fundamental in this sense, because we are coming from many different countries, not only Europe, of course. We, as City-hub of Milan, we are a sort of hubs for the rest of the world. During our events, we hosted a different type of professionals and with different type of backgrounds and expertise. And I think that with this let's say, movement of knowledge from their point of view to ours was fundamental to understand deeply a concept and to create something new, new ideas, new innovation. That's why networking is fundamental.
Thank you so much, Jacopo. Let's move now to Andrew and Felix. We are talking about the next generation of innovators. According to your view and experience, what else could be done actually to enhance motivation, capacity, and opportunities? Felix.
Yeah, so since I'm still a student, I would focus on the university and what they could do to enhance the opportunity to be more innovative. And I think university should play a key role, since you get a lot of new input on an everyday basis, and at that time you're not bound to any kind of company and its way of thinking, so you get a kind of a free mind, and I would say this nurtures your creativity and therefore promotes the innovation. And I would like to give an example how it might work. So the university should provide a framework consisting of two pillars. So on the one hand, to give kind of an open lab where you have different kind of tools ranging from machine tools to workstation with certain software. So you get everything you need to develop your innovative product. And on the other hand, to have a small funding, because sometimes your innovative product can be just for 50 euros, a Raspberry Pi and some sensors, but sometimes you need maybe a bit more, and this is not really easy for students to finance. So there should be a fixed amount that, for every student that they can access for their innovation, and this might help to be more innovative in the terms of the university.
So Personally, I believe that one of the keys to spreading innovation and entrepreneurship to younger people is to do exactly that, to start younger. So the earlier you can introduce them to the ideas behind, particularly in the STEM fields, say engineering backgrounds, mathematics, technology-based subjects, the more likely it is that they will adapt to those technologies and become even better than we were. And you can just keep going that way until eventually you have a super generation who have been raised on technology from a very young age. We have a program that we run as part of IFORM, which is the research center that I work with in Dublin. It's funded by the Science Foundation of Ireland. And the idea is that we take 3D printing technologies, hobby-level machines commercially available, and we take them to schools. We teach students that are about 12, 13 years old, and we introduce them to the ideas of CAD, design for manufacturing, 3D printing as an analog for more general manufacturing processes. And it really helps them to kind of decide at an earlier age what kind of career they want to go down. If they want to go down that route, that's great because they can start at an earlier point. If they don't, they know early on and they can explore other options. But I think that the key is do it as early as possible.
Thank you, Andrew. As anticipated, like in a previous speech, even from the Professor Taish, inclusivity is another key topic of this morning for the manufacturing sector. So, in your opinion, please feel free to answer, all of you, how diversity and inclusion are linked to innovation?
Okay, I guess everyone mentioned it. Diversity is one of the key points that the manufacturing world has to catch up with. There needs to be more inclusivity, not just because we need it. It's more that we need it because we live in a world that is changing faster and faster. The pace of innovation is increasing. So we need to stay up to that pace and innovate faster and continue to accelerate. How can we do that? Well, simply we take people from different backgrounds, gender, culture, and we can make them work together. And that would actually help the pace of innovation because diversity, the discovery of new culture, enhances that curiosity to get further, to know more, and to chase perfection. That in turn leads to chasing perfection more in a project. So I think for all those reasons, any kind of diversity should be beneficial to innovation and moreover to innovation in the manufacturing world.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Alessio. So for me, there's a pretty strong link between diversity and innovation. Since it doesn't matter which gender or which ability, they all bring their different perspective on a problem with them, and so they also bring their different kinds of solutions to the problem. And to bring all those ideas together will make us way more innovative. And from a personal experience, working in mixed teams of course, it's way more fun, and also it's way more creative, and therefore, in terms of innovation, quite beneficial for us all. So we should definitely bring those guys together.
I strongly believe in equality of opportunity is really something I think is very important. Somebody, no matter what your background, your gender, your ethnicity, should all have the same chance to do what they want to do, no matter where you're from. A good example I have of this is actually a friend of mine who is a high school teacher. He teaches technical subjects, engineering-based subjects, and as a fun side project, he decided to start a Lego club for the earlier years so that they could kind of explore their creative side, their innovative side. And what he found was within the next 4 years, as those students got up to what we call the Leaving Cert, which is kind of like the final exams, they get to choose more subjects. And they saw a huge rise in the number of people, boys and girls, taking on the subjects. Girls in particular, there was a huge jump. And it's funny that he used Lego, because Lego by design is built to be genderless. There is no pink blocks. That's the idea behind it, is that it's completely level playing field. And I think it's a very good example of how, given equal opportunity, that people will do what they want to do.
Sure.
Yeah, from my point of view, as said before, while in the last century innovation could be perceived as a pipe, you have a research and development that you create the product that you deliver to the market. Nowadays, in the last 2 decades, so innovation should be perceived as a funnel, so in an open innovation where ideas can come from everyone. And if you're not, if people are not there, you cannot get the whole benefit of innovation. I want to conclude with a final remark, a quote that really impressed me. While diversity is about having different kind of people at the table, not be biased when they are talked with, inclusion is about listening to them, understanding them, and really take value from them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much of you all for sharing with us your experience that were really, at least to my point of view, inspiring for the sector. So thank you again, Alessio Fino, Felix Ferk, Andrew Dickinson, and Jacopo Farina for being with us in the first roundtable about innovation. So we go on with our morning. Now it's the moment. You left something, yeah. The mask. we go on with the schedule, and it's the moment of our first awarding, which is the YML Innovation Contest, 3D Printing Made at Home. The YML Innovation Contest was mainly organized by the Czech Technical University in Prague, which is another of the YML project partner, and sponsored by Prusa Research, which offered the prizes of the contest. So I will leave now the floor to Libor Barnek for the awarding ceremony. Thank you.
So, thank you. This is a great pleasure to be here. I would like to say a few words about the contest, why we went this way, because actually the contest was designed at the beginning of the year. So we figured out that there will be maybe issues to do anything, I would say, in school. So that's why the contest was called Made at Home. And we used 3D printing so the students could actually do things at home. And I would say from the experience of maybe having 50 students, masters, bachelors, you learn the things best when you try to do something, you fail, you will understand why you fail, and you try to optimize, meaning you will adapt to the situation. And this is what actually the 3D printing is providing now everyone at home, because it's quite cheap. You can design, you can make things, you can understand when they are not working, and you can learn from it. So this was maybe the main goal of the contest, to foster the creativity, to foster the technical education, and also to promote 3D printing a little bit as a tool which you can actually start using very young, and you can learn from a young age how to do things, how to fail, and how to learn from your mistakes. So we did have few criteria, actually 3 of those. One of them was originality, meaning we needed the original idea. So we also asked for the model. We advised that when you are designing something, it could be useful. So the usefulness was another option. And the third option was, I would say, maybe more controversial or most controversial. It was a video presentation. Because usually the engineers, technical people, don't lack the creativity, but they lack the effort or maybe the need to present it. So this is how we try to push them. Okay, when you design something, also present us the idea so we understand that you are the author, that you made it. And as mentioned, this contest was supported by Prusa Research, which is a company, basically developer, designer of 3D printers that can be used at home. Now they are also at the autumn launching some professional products, including some farming systems. So we had 3 prizes, but actually there were such amount of great ideas that we decided to go for, I would say, additional prizes. We call them special mentions, but actually they received the same third prize, that means the filaments, and actually we wanted to give these ideas also a place to shine. One of them is Marco Ronzani. Unfortunately, he's not able to be here, but his project, I would say, of feed buttons was actually a very nice integration of hardware, software. Maybe he was sponsored by some sports apparel company, but you will see from the video. So this is actually a special mention, Marco Ronzani.
Today, I will be presenting you the feed buttons. Those 8 buttons attach to your feet rest to the clamp and allow you to have 8 extra completely remappable arcade buttons to use while working, gaming or chilling. With a simple Python script and Arduino on board, each button can do whatever you want, from being a simple keepers to a full macro. You start with a common feet rest, this is one from IKEA for instance. Then the buttons clamp on the edge further from you via the threads on the buttons, and some rubber bands which aren't in the footage, whoops, but are actually needed, so no problem. The buttons, meanwhile, are simple old-style arcade buttons, with an outstanding loud click. They are mounted in a thoughtful way, so that the big toe does most of the work, with a button above, one below, and a third one on the side, with a fourth button which is pressed by the wall feed nudging on the outside. The idea was born from playing Doom Eternal. Yeah, that. A key aspect of the game is fast weapon swapping, which is achieved by default using the numbers from 1 to 8 on the keyboard, but using them as fast as the game needs it is rather painful after some time. So, I originally built the feed buttons to replace the number keys in Doom Eternal, but they are now a part of my PC interface much more than I ever anticipated. I now use them to open programs, type command text, play and pause music or videos, change tracks, reload web pages, and much more. But back on topic, I must say that they could have never been a thing if not for my 3D printer, because it allowed me to go quickly from prototype to prototype, and believe me, I failed a lot of them. And I'll probably fail even more in the future, because this, what you're seeing right now, is still a prototype. That said, my vision after this project is that we should never stop thinking about new interfaces between human and computer, and I will for sure continue to experiment. But as of now, thanks for your time, and I hope this project meant something to you, as it does every day to me, since I use it literally every day.
So, basically we have new gaming interface coming on the market. The second special mention goes for Marcello Persico. Actually, he should be here. So, please, if you can come here. I will not give you the prize directly, but I will give you a voucher, and then we will give you the prize. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
And actually, this was a light moment within the contest, because when we were going through the videos, this one actually made us laugh a little bit.
Sit down, or?
Yeah, yes, you can sit down. So, guys understood that part of the evaluation is really the video presentation. So they did it with style, and we can see it.
Hi there! Here at Civil Engineering, we hate forgetting things. So we developed our best and only product to date. The never again forget anything when you go outside. With its organic Voronoi pattern, decided to reduce weight with no compromises, no rigidity, just put inside whatever you don't want to forget the morning after, and it will lock your keys in place until you open it to reveal what's inside, so you can forget it. Gone are the days of forgetting your wallet home. Gone are the days of going outside without your face mask. With an FA Wigo, snooze your alarm one more time and enjoy your morning routine. Thank you.
So the name of the product sounds a little crazy. Never forget anything when you go outside, but I would say great idea and great joy to see your work. And now we will go for the third place, which is which is Filippo Predebon. If we can go for his slide. It's on me, so it's my mistake. Filippo Predebon actually designed a universal bottle and can opener, and this is an object which is simple idea. Usually the simple ideas are the best ones, and very big, I would say, impact is that it can actually help someone, and it can help our seniors. So our work name for this project was Disco Grandma. You will see in a while why. So. So, simple things, but they actually can help quite easily. So, we will go for the second place, and second place is Fabio Bianchi. I suppose he's supposed to be here. Speaking of Fabio from the project, I understand you love skiing. From the picture, it's obvious also.
Thank you very much.
And maybe for the video, this was maybe the best presentation of them all, because you are actually one of you which was not afraid to go in front of the camera. A lot of the videos is just showing you the thing, but not showing you the author. And you took the time to actually explain why you are doing it, how you are doing it. So that was really great, I would say, for presentation, 3D printing and your idea. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Hello everyone and welcome to this project. I am Fabio from Politecnico di Milano, and for the Young Manufacturing Leaders competition I reproduced this clamp, which is used to make the skis edges. To do it I used my Ender 3 3D printer, and the first thing that I designed was this main body, which is made up by PLA. PLA, which was printed at 200 Celsius degrees and with a bed temperature of 50 degrees. Then I designed the screws that are used to tighten the skis. Also, them are made up by PLA, printed at 200 Celsius degrees and with a build plate temperature of 50 degrees. Finally, I 3D printed with TPU these rubber pads, which are used, which helps the skis and the clamps to stay tight. And as I said, they are made by TPU and are 3D printed with a nozzle temperature of 230 degrees and with a bed temperature of 70 degrees. So now we're going to try the clamps. As you can see, I fixed the ski to the clamps and the clamps to the table, and it is quite tight. And now I will use these tools to make the skis edges. As you can see, everything is quite tight, and the skis edges are coming out very well. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed the project.
So Fabio is already ready for the season. What about you? And now we go to the finale. The first place goes to Martin Nečas. It's actually also a complex project, integration of hardware, software. And the main goal was to make collaborative robotics, I would say, more accessible to a broader audience. So we can see the project of the robot head. And I would like to invite Martin to claim the first prize.
Hi, I'm Martin Nečas, a student of the Czech Technical University in Prague, and I would like to introduce you my project of a 3D printed head for an industrial robot. Collaborative robot Yumi has always seemed human to me, and that's why I decided to create a 3D printed head for him. In addition, this robot is almost always in contact with humans, so the main goal was to create a funny robot head that will attract attention. In this short video you can see all the components that make up the head. The main purpose of the neck is to guide the cables and also serves as a connector for mounting to the robot. The head serves partly as a telephone holder, which shows the moving eyes of the robot. Two moving mechanisms are then hidden in the head. The first is mechanism for rotating the head on the neck, and the second is used to move the antennae. Except for the small electronics, bearings and screws, all parts of the head were printed on a 3D printer. The 3D printing was best suited for application, as many parts were redesigned during development and optimized for proper operation. Here you can see the finished and applied head on the robot with the used functions of the created head. Thanks for your attention.
So that's actually all about the contest. Now also at the end I would like to thank persons that are not here, they are not enjoying this as much as I am, but without them it wouldn't be even possible to have such a project as a Young Manufacturing Leaders and the contest specifically. So I would like to thank Marta Pinzone, Giulia Di Monipoli and Marisa Marini. So they are not searching for the light of the cameras, but without them it wouldn't be possible. So thank you very much, and giving word to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Libor, and congratulations again to all the projects. As anticipated, at the end of our first roundtable, diversity and inclusion is another key topic in manufacturing and of our morning and event here. So now it's the moment to welcome on stage Carlotta Dainese, Digital Strategy and Innovation Lab Director, Prismian Group, for our second keynote speech. So welcome Carlotta, and please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you today. Thank you for the invitation of this important event. So today, one second, I will start. Oh, sorry, can go back? Okay. So today we will speak about gender equality, diversity, and inclusion in the manufacturing area. So I would like to start my presentation with this image that is very important for me for two main reasons. The first one is linked to the fact that I work in the aerospace sector as my first job as aerospace engineer at Politecnico di Milano. And the second reason is linked to diversity, equity, and inclusion, meaning that I would like to transfer to you today. So what about the first reason in particular? This image that you can see today is the first space selfie took by a Rosetta mission, so a Rosetta satellite, during this European space mission. So you can see the photovoltaic solar panel of this satellite, and in the landscape you can see also the comet. This mission was particularly successful because we landed on a comet in 2014, the first time in the history. And most important, we was able also to collect some sample from this comet. And the Politecnico di Milano in particular was responsible for the drilling system that was mounted on this satellite. And I had the opportunity to participate to this European space mission because I was the responsible for this laboratory at Politecnico di Milano. This mission was particularly successful because we reached the comet after 500 million of kilometers from the Earth and after 10 years of trip. So a very, very long trip. And we reached the comet with 2 minutes of delay and 5 meters of error on a comet that was large, 2 kilometers in total. So it was a very long journey. Many things happened, many troubles, but we was able to solve all this trouble to reach the comet. So what the diversity, equity, inclusion does in common with a space mission? So I think that the diversity, equity, and inclusion is not an initiative. It's not a pool of initiatives. It's not only a program. It's a journey. It's a journey that evolves during time. It's a journey because we have to define our starting point. We have to find out some indicators that we can measure during time and we can monitor during time. It's a journey because we have to define our target. We could be ambitious in the definition of this target. We have to choose our comet. And finally, it's a journey because we have also to define our roadmap, our path. And we have to be flexible also on redesigning this path during time, leveraging on our competencies and on our background. As I said, we have to start to measure some indicators that we can monitor during time. So this is a very important indicator for me, and it's the measurement of the gender gap in the STEM workforce. So this is particularly important, and if you are not familiar with the concept of STEM, STEM means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics graduation. So you can see here a study from the Society of Women Engineering in US, and you can find 3 different cakes in this slide. The first one said, which is the total college graduates amount across all disciplines. So, and you can see that we have the 57% of women in this cake. The second is about the college graduates entering in the field of engineering, and we have only the 22% of women. But if we can see the last cake, the women employed as engineer, we have only the 13%. This is a huge problem for us for the manufacturing areas, and I think that we have to act at different level as a company because we have to act in the school and in our workforce. But I think that we can act also at a personal level as individual because everyone among us could be a role model for the young generation. So when we speak about diversity, we speak about different kind of diversity. Gender is the first one, but we have also other kind of diversity. And the most important thing is to translate diversity in inclusion. And here we have another very important indicator, the average inclusive culture score for each sector. Basically, we can measure the benefit of the programs of, for example, diversity and inclusion in our company. And here we reached the 59% as average level between different industry. But the bad news is linked to the fact that the manufacturing areas that belongs to the industrial part reached the lowest results in this graph. So as I said before, we have to act at different level to push also the inclusivity in our company. So the diversity and inclusion could include different kind of policy. We can have obviously an impact on our social part, but I think that we have to consider also the fact that we can have an impact directly on our business outcome. So we can implement this kind of policy for the social part, but also for our business outcome. And here we have a study made by Gartner, in which Gartner make a survey with more than 1,000 of CEO of important company all over around the world. And this CEO answered that, for example, the 19% of people said that we can attract the best talent in the world. We can enhance business performance. We also strengthen our brand and reputation. We can collaborate better internally and externally. We can innovate better. We can enhance customer satisfaction, and we can serve new customer needs if you are able to implement this kind of policy in our company. So one tips from our side. So we think that if you would like to spread the adoption of the diversity and inclusion in our company, we can think about the diversity, equity, and inclusion like a new piece of technology. The most important part is to think that we have to experiment with this kind of policy, with this kind of technology. Because if we are able to experiment and if we are able to adopt this kind of initiatives, we also are able to improve this kind of policy. So in the first slide, I saw that I'm working at Prysmian Group, so I would like to share with you the Prysmian case and what this big company is doing about the diversity inclusion. So basically, Prysmian is the leader in the cable production for energy and also telecom infrastructure. So basically, we have a huge product portfolio. We produce a small cable that you can find at your home, but we produce also very big cable that we install 3,000 feet under the sea for the big interconnection between countries. So the Prysmian Group has 3 different pillars in our strategy. We would like to support the energy transition. We would like also to support the digitalization of our world and also the electrification of our society. As I said, Prysmian is a truly global company. It's a very, very big company. We include more than 50 countries, 106 plants all over around the world. We have 25 R&D centers. We have more than 29,000 employees worldwide, and we reached 11 billion of sales last year. So Prysmian, born in 2007 from Pirelli Cavi Sistemi, for a spin-off of Pirelli Cavi Sistemi, and the growth of this company is linked to a specific strategic policy in the merger and acquisition. So we grow through different acquisition during time. So basically, the diversity in this company is in our DNA. And this is our social ambition. It's a very important part of our job. We launched this social ambition 2030 last year. This social ambition includes 5 of the sustainable development goals at the global level. And we translate these 5 sustainable development goals in a very important action plan that includes many different parts. For example, gender equality, upskilling and engagement, digital innovation, health and safety, empower local communities, and also race ethnicity inclusion. So this is a very important social ambition. Every streams that you can see here are strongly linked together. For example, the digital inclusion is a very important part that is a sort of enabler for the other streams. Due to the fact that the gender is at the center of our presentation, I would like to start to spend some words about our gender equality streams. In particular, today, in our company, we have the 18% of women that are employed in the STEM job. We would like to support the growth of this part, and we would like to reach the 30% of women in the STEM job in our company. And we would like to do that with a specific program. So we foreseen to hire more than 500 women in our company in the next future, and we would like also to launch this program for the empowerment and the leadership of these women in our company. There is another important indicator that is strongly linked to this one, and is linked to the fact that today we have only the 17% of women in our total workforce. We would like to reach in 2030 the 25% of women in our total workforce. So we have to do many things to reach this target. Another very important pillar that is linked to this first one about the gender equality is the upskilling and also the engagement of our people. And a very important part for us is the training. So here we have the first target in this stream is the fact that we would like to reach the 30 yearly hours per capita of our employees for the training. So this is a very important part, but another important target that we would like to reach is the fact that we would like to involve more than 25% of our people in some mobility program around the world in our company, because we would like to leverage on our diversity, because as I said before, the diversity is in our DNA. We would like to transform this diversity in inclusion to, for example, innovate better. And I would like also to underline the fact that as I said before, the diversity does not include only gender. It includes also different kind of diversity. And here we have another important objective. We would like to reach more than 30% of executives in our group from different kind of culture, ethnicity, and so on. So I would like to conclude this slide with another very important example, because it's another crucial point for the manufacturing sector and obviously for our company, and is related to the health and safety. Last year, we launched our new program, the Zero and Beyond program. So basically, it's a sort of philosophy that we would like to implement in our company. So in this particular program, we would like, our mission is to reach zero injuries, zero incident, zero job illnesses in our company, whenever we are. So in the factory, at the office, and also at our home. So as you can see, our journey started. And we learned a lot during our journey, but we are still learning during our journey. And to foster diversity, equity, and inclusiveness in our organization, we can leverage on these 5 important pillars for us. So, for example, we can broaden the narrative of diversity because, as I said before, the diversity includes many kinds of diversity. So, we can include also a variation based on cognitive mindset and also culture. The second pillar is about the advanced equity across workforce, marketplace, and also society. The third one is about the development of the culture of courage, because we would like to create an environment for the true, authentic self. Another very important pillar is about the building the new leadership skill, the new leadership posture. We would like to include empathy, because empathy means that we can understand emotions outside ourselves. An empathic leader uses a coaching mindset, and empathy breeds inclusivity. And finally, we would like also to strengthen accountability through transparency and a better communication. So, as I said before, we can act as a company level, but we can act also as a personal level, as individuals, like a role model for the young generation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Carlotta, for all the topics and figures you bring at the table. Actually, now is the moment of our second round table that will be focused on young women in manufacturing. So I welcome on stage Greta Braun, PhD student, Chalmers University of Technology, Lyudmila Ruzhitskova, PhD student, Czech Technical University in Prague, Elena Fernandez-Calvo, bachelor degree student, EMH University, Leonor Ramos Doben-Conego, research fellow, Faculty of Engineering of University of Porto. Thank you so much for joining, and I would like to start with Elena and Lyudmila, and asking you what inspired you to pursue a STEAM career. We already talked about this in the previous speech, and actually, what are the main aspects and challenges as young women of it? Thank you.
So shall I start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can start.
So for me, it will be maybe not that usual way how you would get to research or engineering, because it started when I was like 4 years old, and I still do have 2 older brothers, and we used to watch Stargate, which was a TV series, and I just fell in love with the Samantha Carter, which was the researcher there and the scientist, and she just could do anything. She was the coder, she could like code, she was the programmer, she was also the physicist, she was also the mathematician, she was just everything, and she could solve every problem, it was there. And I was so inspired by her. So I had, as a young girl, not even woman, just little girl, she was a role model to me. And I wanted to be a scientist and work in CERN or NASA and to be like her. But as the time went, I was like, oh, maybe it wasn't the best idea. It's just a TV series. Maybe I wouldn't be that good, you know, it's just in television. So I was like, yeah, I'm quite a talkative person. I like foreign languages, so why not to do international relations and diplomacy and stuff like that? Maybe that's something which is more suitable for women. But at a high school, thanks to a friend I've met, he kind of was Samantha Carter in the man's body. And he knew like answer to everything, and he could explain the things in such a nice way that I could understand even if I didn't have any technical background. And I was like, wow, I really want to do this. And he woke up the dream I had in me again. But I was at the end of my high school, and I was focusing just on foreign languages. So I was like, wow, now I really need to like speed up. So I started to focus on math, focus on physics and stuff like that. And I was successful. I had my finals, I successfully passed them. Then also the exams for the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, and I started to study there. I have to say that I had some hard time to catch up with the people, but not just with the boys, also with the girls, because I just wasn't focusing on math and physics and stuff like that. But as the time went, I started to get into the heart of the matter, and I really fell in love with what I did there and what I studied. So I did a bachelor, then I did my master's, and nowadays I am doing my PhD, I'm doing my own research, and I finally really can be the scientist I was dreaming of when I was a little girl. So after all, I became kind of Samantha Carter of my own kind.
So thank you, Ludmila. I don't know if Elena wants to tell your story.
I think that I have two inspirations. The first one was my family, because I have a lot of women members in my family that actually had studied a STEM career. Even my grandma, like 70 years ago. So
a pioneer.
Yeah, it's a lot. And they always told me to do whatever I want to do. But they also show me a way that STEM careers can be both for women or for men. Like, there is no distinction. And another thing that inspires me was my education, because when I went to high school in Spain, they taught us like a lot of technology and innovation things. So that's maybe why I'm studying an engineering. And in my school, almost the 50% of women have studied an STEM career. So I think those are more my inspirations.
So thank you for sharing with us your inspiration, actually, your stories. I would move now to Greta. We already talked about diversity and inclusion, and in your opinion, how diversity and inclusion can drive innovation, specifically in the manufacturing field?
Yeah, I think it's a super important question when we talk about innovation, to have a lot of perspectives. I live in Sweden, and I can just speak for Sweden. And even there, even if you think it might be quite a progressive country, because for me startups stand for innovation, kind of. In Sweden, 1% only of venture capital goes to female founders. And this is really like nothing, 1%. We really need to improve this and get more diversity within innovation, like gender diversity, but also, of course, ethnicity, age, functional variations, etc. And I can mention an example that I'm working with in Gothenburg right now. I'm part of an organization that is called Women in Tech, and we have actually started a venture studio where we want to increase the women part of innovation. So we help female founders in their starting phase, not with capital actually, but with competence. Because we have the feeling that there are a lot of things standing in women's ways when it comes to innovation and starting their own business. But if we help them with competencies, they can feel more safe and get into an environment where they can feel safe. And that's why we use our network to create technical advisory boards to get them going.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to add something about this specific project you mentioned.
So in this project, we right now help different startups in this phase. So we help them with like artificial intelligence advice, or advice on prototyping a product or manufacturing processes, and a lot of knowledge that you maybe as one person that starts a business, you don't have all the knowledge. But if you just get a little bit of advice, it can help you going. So that's how we approach the challenge of having more women within innovation, because it brings so many more perspectives, and also, as a lot of people, also Carlotta mentioned before, it's not only about the diversity, but it's also about bringing all perspectives together. I think Alessio said it quite good. It's not enough to have like all people around the table. You also have to ask them for their opinion. And I have a nice quote for this that I think it's really nice to remember. It's diversity is being invited to the party, and inclusion is being asked to dance.
Yeah.
And I really like this because I also like dancing. Yeah, so we really have to actually actively help the minorities within innovation, especially because we need products that are made for everybody.
Absolutely. During the morning, we also take the topic of education. So I would move now to Leonor. How to communicate and use innovative approaches in education to change actually the perspective and attract more young people, in this case more girls, more women, in the STEAM fields and manufacturing, in your view? I don't know if you have any example of this.
Yeah, actually, if I could give more than one example, if time allows,
sure.
I will. In Porto, now we are holding a project which is Discover Manufacturing. It's a different one, but it's good to mention because we are holding a project, a series of activities around design thinking process. It involves different stages since the definition of a problem, ideation, prototyping, testing, implementing, and during this process, we believe girls are, through this exposure to the design thinking process, it is actually changing their perspective around engineers. They can see engineers as innovators, as creators, as scientists, no more just as people who create things. It's more than that. It's the process. And they can develop a series of competencies that are very important, are crucial for Industry 4.0, since collaboration, critical thinking, collaboration. They have to interview people, get to know the users, create empathy with them, synthesize all the information. So engineering is much more than creating. It's a process of ideation between all these stages I have just mentioned, and also between different people, the diversity you've just mentioned, inclusion, accepting and understanding others' perspectives, considering them. I would also mention that it would be nice to redesign some educational content. I mean, textbooks. Sometimes they depict more male figures than female. In those cases, we should balance things. I'm not saying excluding, because excluding, it's not inclusion. So it's not to delete men. We can't delete men, we don't want that. But there should be a balance. Also, other thing, and as my background is also in communication, I would like to say that every message we pass through our social networks can be very powerful. Even it can be in a good way, or it can destroy what we really want to say. So we should think about the words we use, like, very wisely, because if we say he, she, if we use he, him, we are targeting different people. Also, I would like you to think, I don't want you to answer me, just think about this. When I say champion, do you think about male, female, or known? And when I say understanding, honest, critical, what comes to your mind? When I say sensitive, responsive, confident, I don't really want you to answer me, just think about this, because when we use these words that seem, it's just an adjective, it's nothing else, we are, people already is thinking about a gender, so we are targeting different people. One other thing we could do would be to fund schools and teachers who involve STEAM courses inside and outside school contexts. It doesn't have to be
it can be earlier, in an earlier age, or before school, after school. And that's all. Thank you for the time.
Thank you so much, Leonor, also for stressing actually the importance of words that can be actually starting point, you know, of every process. As you were saying before, we sit at the table, we're sharing ideas, but words are really crucial in this process. I don't know if you, Greta, want to add something about the communication and education part.
Yeah, I maybe want to add that I totally agree with your examples for like action points to get more girls into STEAM. But I also think that we have to work with a culture in industry today, because I think one problem is also, of course, like the pipeline, that we don't get enough women to actually come to the industry, but also I saw a Harvard Business Review investigation that they made that showed that 44% of women actually leave tech industry within 10 years, compared to 17% of men. So it's nearly like half of the women, or 41%, sorry. It was 41% of the women leave within 10 years. And we should ask us, why are they leaving? And this was also, of course, part of the investigation. And of course, this cultural problems that we have, that sometimes it's bromance culture and men helping men and don't include women good, or even discriminate them. And we have like sexual harassment problems, of course. And all these issues have to be addressed as well. Because, yeah.
And one other thing, if time allows, to include, and it's pretty common. It's to if a company wants to prove they have a very diverse team, and they are they consider inclusion. It's normal to join all the team together in a wall and let's take a picture. And there it is, a lot of people, a lot of different people. But to prove that they are really including people, that they are getting the perspectives of everyone and not discriminating, you should take pictures. But for example, with a female Pakistan girl with a hijab, for example, leading a team where all the others are around her, are with her, but she's leading. Or any other, I could say any other religion, any other person, colored person, you get me.
Thank you so much for sharing these ideas. I'll move back to Elena and Lyudmila. Following these topics that your colleagues bring to the table, what other action, in your view, can the manufacturing sector or the stakeholders focus on to actually accelerate what we were just saying? So accelerate change, increase diversity, foster inclusion, and so reach a better gender balance.
Shall I start?
Yeah.
So I would divide this into two parts, maybe. The first is, as we were discussing the fundings, that would be really great if big companies could support some, as you said, STEM educations or subjects, or even girls as role models going to high schools and really like inspiring not just the girls, even the boys, to really pursue the technical field, the engineering career. It doesn't have to be mechanical engineering, it could be electrical, coding, like civil engineering. I also used to go, before COVID, to high schools, and I try to like motivate young people, not just girls, but also it's easier for me to also motivate young girls, because I'm also a girl, so they can identify with me better. And I think it's also important for us to take this part. We can always say what can be done better, but I think it's very important to start at ourselves. And also we can take the action, we can go there and we can inspire the young people and also the young girls. And the other thing I want to focus on is, we were discussing those percentage, stuff like that. I think the important thing is also the recruitment selection. And I have two views here. The first is, from my perspective and from my point of view, based on me, I think it should be based on your skills and qualifications, but not on your gender. And what I'm meaning is that I don't want to be hired somewhere just because I'm a woman and we need to do some quotas, you know? Because I wouldn't feel comfortable and worthy enough. I want to be hired because I'm good. And if there is a man who's more qualified and better than me, then he should be hired, not me. I really think that this is very important. We cannot build women's confidence by lowering the men's confidence. And we also, if we want inclusion, we just mustn't exclude men. We have to cooperate, and we are in this together. That's why it's inclusion. And I think it's very important to think also about those topics, that we really have to, not to exclude the men. Yeah, I think that's also very important, at least for me. But on the other hand, we have to be also careful about at the recruitment selection. I meant we have to be very careful about the matter of preferring hiring men to women if they're both young, same age, and the employer knows that the woman will have children. So I think this is some issue that can happen because, of course, the employer, they want to make money. Of course, I get it. It's logical to do it like this. So it's convenient for the company, of course. But the childbearing is the thing that stays with women. Men cannot do that. It's simply something that nature we were given us by nature, so we can't do anything about that. So I think we shouldn't be judged by that, and we shouldn't be we should have the same opportunities because they're also to have a child, you need men and women. So we are in this together also. And I think also that the managers, they also have mothers, so they can maybe more identify that they wouldn't be that happy to if their mother was treated somehow differently, just because she's having him as a child. And if we don't give a birth as a woman, of course, it's the end of the civilization. So for whom are we building this society? So I think that's also the other perspective. We can look at this from this perspective. Yeah.
Thank you, Ludmila, for going also behind the diversity and inclusion topic that, as we can see, it's more multifaceted than maybe on a superficial view can be. Elena, if you want to add something.
I think that what we gotta do is to make a more attractive point of view to women, because maybe in the past it was associated, as Marco said, to a manual work, and maybe it's not that attractive to us. But nowadays, I think the main muscle is the brain. So I think that's one of the things that we need to change, like the culture thinking. Like you need to think that you are not gonna do manual stuff. You can do designs, you can be a chief or something like that. And another thing is the education, because sometimes it's focused on boys only and not in girls. And what Ludmila said before about I don't want to get a job because I'm a woman. Like, I think if we want equality, it has to be the same for women and men. We know that in the past, and nowadays it also happens, we may have some type of discrimination, but what women have to know is that she can fight for a job that she wants, even though that she's a woman or a man or or whatever. So I think that we need to have like a change in our minds about culture to have more women in the STEM sector.
Thank you. So connecting the dots among all the things that have been said by you, I think that the cultural factor, the educational factor are main topics. Another point could be like leadership. So just to close this round table, as young women that's part of the core team leading the City Hub, what kind of leadership skills you think are important and that maybe needs to be developed further in this context? Maybe you can start as you want.
Okay, I think in my opinion, in order to be a good leader, you need to be empathic, first of all, and also you need to be close to your team, because that way the relationship between the team is going to be more comfortable, and I think that every project or idea that everyone has would be more accepted by everyone. And also you need to, as a leader, you need to accept different points of views. Like your own opinion is not the only one that is correct. So I think that those are the most important things in order to be a good leader.
Yeah, you can take the...
I think one thing that we can say all of us have in common, and it's important in leadership positions, is the passion to learn. Like all of us want to be updated, and that is very important for a leader, to be know what are the vogue information, what are the vogue technologies. Also, I think we have to be resilient, like don't give up at the first time, overcome problems, how to overcome them. And team management. Team management involves so many things. We have to mobilize people. We have to hear people. We should collaborate with them, but also take into consideration other stakeholders. And also we have to balance what we can do and what I can trust in others to do. And that is a balance between power and trust in others. So there should be a balance here, and sometimes it's hard. I don't know, for me, sometimes it's harder to trust in the others, although I can't complain at all. My team is great, but that's something I would say I would need to get better on.
Yeah, Ludmila.
Okay. For me, as being a team leader for some time, I think, and it's a team, it consists of mainly just men, and then there are a few girls. In the beginning, there were no girls, just me and the men, and then there are now like 2 other girls. I think it's very important, and what I can bring there as a woman also is, for me, being a good leader is to respect other people. And also, and that's very important, I think, if you want your team to work with you, is to appreciate them and to show your gratitude. Not just to say that they did something wrong, but also to be able to say, hey, wow, yes, you did a great job, thank you for that. It was very, very nicely done. And it's very important, I think. And it's something maybe which is easier for women to do, because we are kind of used to listen to others, be more maybe sometimes patient, sometimes expressing the gratitude. I think it's just for us it's maybe easier. But I think it's very important for men and for women to do this, because if you have no respect and appreciation in the team, it's just a group of people, but it's very nice when you somehow connect
the people with nice relationships between them. So I think me as a team leader, what I like to do is also do some social events and to bring the team together, to have some more experience than just the work-based experience. Yes, and it's also important to give them opportunities to grow, not just take everything for myself, and really be able to trust them and give them opportunity to shine.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
thank you. Rita, just to close the
Yeah, I agree on all your points. I would say, especially with the empathy and appreciation and the management of the team, and maybe like a plus on this, I would say be brave and also patient. Be brave to actually take the uncomfortable discussions as well. And I would really love to invite men to this roundtable for next year, maybe, because I think this is like also inclusive leadership, that you include everybody in every discussion, because this is not a women's issue; it's all our issues. So the inclusive leadership is super important, that you really get everybody's perspective on every topic, and we cannot do this alone, even though we can like help each other as women, and women are sticking together. It's always amazing when I'm in these kind of settings. I always feel that women really help each other, kind of, because we know it's harder. But I would really love everybody to join these discussions.
Sure. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to have listened to your voices, and I think that actually they can inspire your peers, men and women both, so for sure. Thank you again, Elena, Lyudmila, Greta, and Leonor for being with us. We go on. Now it's the moment of our second awarding of the morning, which is the YML contest for the World Manufacturing Report. This contest is linked to the annual World Manufacturing Report published by the World Manufacturing Foundation, which in this year's edition is focused on digital-enabled circular manufacturing. The YML members have submitted some case studies linked to the circular manufacturing and got featured in a special section of the 2021 report. So now I leave the floor to Julia and Mark for the awarding moment.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to present to you the 2021 World Manufacturing Report. So this afternoon there will be an official presentation about it. So just to provide you with a brief background, the 2021 World Manufacturing Report is an annual white paper published by the World Manufacturing Foundation, which analyzes the most important topics in manufacturing. So this is an initiative that we started in 2018, and we kept on doing in the years after. So the idea is to choose a topic each year and focus on that topic. So the 2021 report is developed with experts from all over the world. It's a very global project, and each year we collaborate with close to 50 or 60 experts from all over the world, from different organizations such as governments, industrial and trade associations, universities and research centers, and others. And this is one of the most important initiatives of the foundation that is a testament of our commitment to producing high quality content to the manufacturing community. So since it's one of the flagship activities of the foundation, we also want to give exposure to our young manufacturing leaders, giving them the opportunity to contribute to this important document. So this year, the topic of the 2021 World Manufacturing Report, as you already know, is about digitally enabled circular manufacturing. So the report outlines or investigates the role of digital technologies in order to achieve circularity in manufacturing. So a few months ago, we launched this open call for young manufacturing leaders from all over the world, giving them the opportunity to submit a case study about a company or an organization and how they use technologies in order to achieve different objectives such as resource efficiency, waste minimization, and the overall circularity in production and processes. So without further ado, I'm with Giulia Di Monopoli, the project manager of the YML initiative. And we are announcing the winners of the 2021 YML contest for the World Manufacturing Report. I invite each winner to please come to the stage, in the middle of the stage, to receive your certificate and for a photo opportunity. Thank you. So we start with our first winner. Our first winner, we have Alessandro Croci. So, Alessandro Croci is a digital software engineer from Tenova, and he wrote an essay about the use of artificial intelligence in order to achieve energy efficiency in the steelmaking sector. So congratulations, Alessandro.
So congratulations, Alessandro, and let's now call on the stage our second winner, Giorgio Riccomini, please. So Giorgio wrote an essay about additive manufacturing in circular economy. And so congratulations for this great awarding. Please.
Okay, so our third winner is from Prague, connecting with us remotely. We have Katerina Korblova from the Czech Technical University in Prague. She wrote an essay about circularity enabled by additive manufacturing, and she identified General Electric as a case study. So congratulations, Katerina. Since she's not connecting remotely, perhaps we can ask her professor, Libor Beranek, to receive her certificate on behalf of Katerina.
Okay, let's announce now our third winner, which is Elena Fernandez Calvo, who won with an essay about digital technologies for recycling and wasting in steel sector. Congratulations, Elena.
Okay, last but not the least, we have Alessio Fino. Alessio Fino is a bachelor's degree student from the Politecnico di Torino, and he wrote an essay about the use of digital twins as a catalyst for environmentally sustainable manufacturing. Congratulations, Alessio.
So thank you very much to Mark for the nice presentation, for this awarding. And thank you to all the winners and the YMLs who participated in the contest, and the ones that were not awarded. Your effort is always appreciated, and we like to see that you're really involved in the network activities. So let's give another final round of applause to the winners, of course, and then to all the YMLs that join our activities. Thank you.
Thank you very much again. Congratulations again. Before closing, it's time to show another example of the many activities of the YML and the City-hubs activities being organized throughout the years. So we invite you to join and to keep in touch with them. We have a video.
How we did get here? How did we reach this level of technology? We have to travel back in time. Remember that a long time ago, between mountains, artisans were born, women and men dedicated to the land who innovated and began to build the future of the machine tool. Thus becoming pioneers to get the future faster, now here we have it. Machines that help progress, ideas that are changing the way we understand the world. IMH in Elgoibar has created the YML initiative, which aims to bring manufacturing technologies closer to young people. In this case, YML has started a skateboard manufacturing project to show the evolution of manufacturing, how this object, already part of our society, has been built in different periods. The aim is to understand, learn, and show that the world of digital manufacturing is a space of great opportunities for the future. When we see Anel, Daniel, and Edith, Orca, young people skating on wheels, it seems like something normal to us, something we've always done. But do you know how the first skateboard was made? How has it changed over the years? Our skaters have helped us to imagine what techniques and materials have been used. So we can come to understand 3 ways of making a skateboard in 3 periods of the industry. Let's recap. What was there before the technological boom of industrialization? Handicraft still exists today, and to get to know it, at the Machine Tool Museum we have carved a wooden skateboard, with all machines using manual lathes and milling machines. The result, a made-to-measure product with characteristics specific to the place and the artisan who makes it. Of course, something so unique is expensive. The time spent and the experience of the artisans influences on the final price of the product. That is when industrialization came about. Much more dynamic manufacturing processes appear. Production techniques such as mass production and technological advances from the invention of the motor to automation, digitalization of all kinds of mechanisms. And how does this affect our skateboard? To imagine it, in the IMH workshops, we have manufactured a first model of metal skateboard with lathe, milling machines, and numerical control grinding machines, that is, automatic machines. An improved product with more resistant and durable materials. A great variety of features added to the product, from its usefulness to its aesthetics or user safety. We already have a product that is the result of advanced manufacturing, but it doesn't end there. We have taken another leap in technology to manufacture a new version of our skateboard with methods of the new and current industrial revolution. additive manufacturing processes. Through the 3D printing machines of IMH Additive Village, we have achieved another model of a skateboard with designs that were previously impossible to manufacture, cutting-edge materials and technology that allows us to manufacture customized products in batches and anywhere in the world. The industry has honed its manufacturing strategies to create impossible or unbeatable products. All this, together with the evolution of information technologies, welcomes products of the Internet of Things era, such as the new and current electric skateboards, controlled from the mobile phone. 3 skaters with 3 skateboard prototypes have given us an idea of the transformation undergone by the industry. Industrial digitalization. Prototypes of skates, which IMH students will incorporate improvements and innovations to learn and become young professionals in digital manufacturing.
I hope you enjoyed the video. I would like to thank you, everybody, all the speakers, all of you attending in person and virtually for this really interesting and inspiring morning. I remind you that this afternoon there will be the World Manufacturing Forum, this year dedicated, as announced before, to digital technologies are key enabler for circularity. So I hope you can join the forum, and thank you again.